You are the master of your fate. Let's begin. Everyone talks about setting multiple goals. But what if focusing on one thing could actually unlock everything? It sounds counterintuitive, but it's the key. For years, I've watched men and women, talented, ambitious, and with good intentions, spin their wheels. They're running a race in 100 different directions at once. They start a new diet every Monday. They begin a new business plan every other month. They read every self-help book but apply none of them. They have dozens of projects but they finish nothing. They are chasing so many rabbits that they catch none. This isn't just about a lack of discipline. It's a modern epidemic of scattered ambition and what some call shiny object syndrome. You're not lazy. Your energy is just being pulled apart. This lack of singular focus leads to burnout, stagnation, and the nagging hollow feeling that you're destined for more, but you can't seem to get there. The uncomfortable truth is this: your current struggle isn't a lack of effort. It's a lack of direction. You have a lot of ambition, but you do not have a definite chief aim. I'm going to show you how focusing on one thing can change everything. We will uncover your single, most important objective. Then we will pinpoint the true obstacle that's holding you back. And before we're done, I will give you the strategy to eliminate it for good. The path to your ultimate success begins with one decision. I watched a man once, a brilliant fellow, full of energy, start 5 different ventures in a single year. A new app, a consulting business, a book, a podcast, and a side hustle selling handcrafted furniture. He had everything a man could want: talent, ambition, and an abundance of ideas. But at the end of the year, he had achieved nothing. He was busy, but he was not productive. He was full of wishes, but he had no definite chief aim. That is the crucial difference, and it is where most people get lost. A wish is a daydream. It is a passing fancy, something you hope to have or do. A wish is what a child makes when he blows out the candles on a birthday cake. But a definite chief aim, that is a blueprint. It is what a master craftsman creates before he ever lifts a hammer. It is a decision you make and then never reconsider. A man can wish for 1,000 things. He only ever achieves one at a time. I saw this truth in every single person I studied. I watched Andrew Carnegie take his scattered ambitions and forge a single unyielding aim to dominate the steel industry. He didn't just want to be rich. He wanted to build something that would outlast him. He made it his sole purpose, and the world saw the result. He didn't chase a dozen different industries. He put his full weight behind one. Now let's get to the work. It is easy to talk about a definite aim. It is harder to find the one you were meant to pursue. Do not think about what is realistic or easy. Do not think about what others expect of you. I want you to ask yourself a simple question. If you could achieve only one objective in the next 12 months that would make all others easier, what would it be? This is not a trick question. This is a moment of brutal honesty with yourself. What vision brings you to life? What are you willing to fight for? Do not tell me what you want to do. Tell me what you are willing to do to get it. Now, take out a pen. Write it down. Make it specific. Make it real. Describe it as if it already exists. This isn't magic. This is a mental commitment. You are putting a stake in the ground. You are telling the world, and more importantly, you are telling yourself, this is who I am. This is what I am building, and I will not be distracted. Every man with a definite aim will face obstacles. That is a fact of life. But most men waste their energy fighting a dozen small battles when there is one great war they must win. They believe the path to success is a series of small, frustrating problems. They don't realize it is often a single, powerful barrier that casts a long shadow over everything else. Your biggest problem is often not the one you see on the surface. It's the one hiding underneath. Take your definite chief aim. Now, I want you to ask yourself a second question, and I want you to be brutally honest with the answer. Look back at your past attempts. Look at the moments you felt stuck. Ask, what is the one thing, the one persistent pattern or belief that has kept me from achieving this in the past? This is a form of what some call root cause analysis. You must drill down to your fundamental impediment. Is it procrastination? Is it a fear of failure, or perhaps a fear of success? Is it the need to be perfect before you ever start? Or is it a fundamental belief that you are not worthy of what you are chasing? You must pinpoint it with the precision of a surgeon. I watched a young inventor I knew, a brilliant mind full of ideas, who could never bring a single one to market. He had a million excuses. He needed more capital. The timing wasn't right. The technology wasn't perfect. But the truth was, he was terrified of being judged. He would tinker endlessly, refining and refining, because the moment he showed his work to the world, he would be exposed. He would be vulnerable to criticism. His definite chief aim was to create, but his one obstacle was his fear of imperfection. Until he faced that one fear, every other excuse was just a symptom. You must do the same. Look at your own life. Do not blame circumstances. Look within. What is the one thing that has been whispering to you, holding you back, and convincing you to stay in the shadows? Identify it. Name it. This isn't about shaming yourself. It's about giving your enemy a face so you can finally defeat it. Once you have identified your single biggest obstacle, you must treat it like the enemy. You must develop a strategy to dismantle it, not simply coexist with it. Most people try to solve their problems with brute force. They try to do more of everything, hoping that sheer effort will overcome their central barrier. But a man who fights with a sword and shield is a powerful warrior. A man who fights with a rifle aimed at a single target will win the war. The key is not to attack all your problems at once. The key is to apply the laser focus method. You create a single, clear 90-day plan to attack only that one obstacle. You don't have to solve every problem. You only have to solve this one. Everything else can wait. You are putting all your ammunition into one cannonball and firing it at the wall that has held you back for too long. So, how do we begin? Take the obstacle you just identified. Now ask, what is the one action you can take today to weaken that obstacle? Do not overthink. Do not hesitate. Just act. If your obstacle is procrastination, your action might be to sit down and work for a single focused hour without distraction. Not tomorrow, today. If your obstacle is the fear of being judged, your action might be to simply share your work with one trusted person. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be done. I watched Edison with this approach. He didn't try to invent 100 things at once. He obsessed over one problem, creating a commercially viable light bulb. He didn't waste time on side projects. He put his full focus, his full resources, and his full will toward that one invention. He failed thousands of times, but he never gave up on his one definite aim. His failures were not a lack of effort. They were just proof that he had not yet found the right path. He kept going until the obstacle, that stubborn problem, was solved. You must do the same. This isn't just about a plan. It's about a commitment. It is about a focused attack on the one thing that stands between you and your definite chief aim. The man who takes 100 small steps in 100 different directions will end up right where he started. But the man who takes a single step consistently toward the one thing that matters will find himself on a new path entirely. Many men think success is about winning. They believe it is a destination. They don't realize that it is about momentum. When you identify and eliminate that single biggest obstacle, something powerful happens. The ground gives way. The path opens up. Your other problems don't just vanish, but they shrink. The challenges you once saw as mountains now look like hills. The path to your definite chief aim is no longer blocked. It is now just a path to be walked. Overcoming one great obstacle makes every other challenge feel smaller, because you have proven to yourself that you are capable of doing what others only dream of. The confidence you gain from this single victory is not just a feeling, it is a force. It is the fuel that will power your progress on all other fronts. Consider the man I spoke of earlier, the one who was crippled by the fear of being judged. Once he took the single step of sharing his work with one trusted friend, the dam broke. He saw that the world didn't end. He saw that the criticism he feared was not a monster. It was just a few words. With that single fear conquered, he began to move with a speed he had never known. He released his first product, then his second, and soon he was building the exact life he had always wished for. He wasn't a different man. He was simply a man who was no longer held back by a single, self-imposed prison. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are a strategist. You are a victor. You have a clear path, an identified enemy, and you now have the momentum to achieve unstoppable forward motion. That is the true power of a definite chief aim. It is not just about what you want to achieve. It is about what you are willing to become in the process. A life without a definite aim is a life lived in confusion. It is a ship without a rudder, a wanderer lost in a desert. It is a life lived by accident, at the mercy of every wind and current. A life with a definite chief aim is a life lived with purpose. It is a life of decision, of intention, of unwavering progress. It is a life where your actions are no longer random. Every step you take, every decision you make, brings you closer to your ultimate destination. Do not be the man who wants 100 things but gets nothing. Be the man who wants one thing and gets everything. Your purpose is not just what you want. Your purpose is what you are willing to do to get it. Find your one thing. Obliterate your one obstacle. And watch as the rest of your life falls into place. Key takeaways. 1. A definite chief aim is a blueprint, not a wish. It is a decision you make and never reconsider. 2. Most people are held back not by many problems, but by one single fundamental obstacle. 3. Your greatest momentum comes from attacking your one obstacle with laser focus, not by scattering your energy. Assignment. Take out a pen and paper. On a single page, write out your definite chief aim for the next 12-18 months. Be clear, specific, and measurable. Describe it as if it already exists. 2. Underneath that, write out the one single obstacle that has most consistently blocked you in the past. Be brutally honest. Do not make excuses. 3. Now, identify one simple, immediate action you can take within the next 24 hours to begin dismantling that obstacle. Do not think. Do not plan. Just act. Remember, your success begins the moment you decide to act.